Sierra Club faces uncertainty. Iconic nature club founded in 1892 destroys itself with woke pivot that saw 180 DEI staffers hired and members scolded for asking about wolves instead of equity, justice, and inclusion. So, what do you think is going to be the result of this? I mean, obviously, their members are going to flee. The same thing that happened with the Boy Scouts. As soon as wokeness became the priority, everyone pulled out. Big shock. So longtime members of the iconic Sierra Club warned the environmental group is imploding after woke infighting destroyed its focus on nature, driving away members and donors. Yeah, the donors is the important part, but no, members technically, I mean, you had to pay to be a member, but so they're losing money regardless. But the donors, they're the ones that drop the big bucks. The once powerful group founded in 1892 had long been a giant of American environmentalism, making its name through causes including establishing Earth Day. But in the last 6 years, the club has lost 60% of its membership and is reportedly facing a $40 million projected budget deficit despite several rounds of staff layoffs. Well, are you laying off the woke DEI hires, or are you laying off the people that were actually doing the work? Insiders said issues began during Orange Man's first term in office a decade ago as the group positioned itself in opposition to his rollbacks on environmental laws. The position attracted a flurry of new members and saw the organization flushed with $2 million in donations in just 2 weeks. Yeah, that's the poison pill right there. They will show up with money, but the money only lasts until they actually get a foothold. Then the money dries up, and now they're driving away your existing audience, your existing members, your existing fans for whatever the infested organism may be. This is how the woke infests everything. Our problems arose as Lee's looked to capitalize on its influence by expanding the club into an umbrella activist group crusading on regressive issues ranging from racial justice, gay rights, and immigration. Yeah, again, typical woke cancer move. They infest and co-opt existing organizations and try to use them as just a vehicle to push their activism. Even if it's already an existing activist or organization. Like, no, but that's not the right kind of activism. No, you need to stop doing that, and you need to do our activism. Insiders told the New York Lies that they were issued an equity language guide and found themselves being scolded for not prioritizing equity and diversity. And then they go shocked Pikachu face when these volunteers, a lot of times, that they're scolding decide to leave. Like all these members and volunteers, like, look, when you're dealing with someone who's either working for free or better yet, if they're a member, if they're paying to be there and you mistreat them, look, they don't need you. You need them. Like it's not like an employee of a company that's living paycheck to paycheck and they can't afford to lose the job. So they're willing to put up with some bullshit before they have enough and rage quit. That's not the case for like volunteers or paid members. They will leave at the drop of a hat. They will not stick around and put up with your bullshit. One member, Delia Malone, told the Lies that she had a complaint launched against her for deviating from the organization's new mission because she said the club should lobby Colorado lawmakers to provide more protections for wolves. One of the staff said, "That's fine, Delia, but what do wolves have to do with equity, justice, and inclusion?" She recalled. Yeah, and I bet she got in trouble when she said, "Well, what does equity, justice, and inclusion have to do with environmentalism?" Earlier this year, the Sierra Club fired its first Black executive director, Ben Jealous. Wow, he's Ben Jealous, huh? The former president of NAACP, after the group hired him in current year -3 to reverse its declining membership and donations. Oh, so they decided to double down on DEI and they declined faster, right? According to the Lies, his tenure was marked by accusations of sexual harassment, bullying, and overspending. And insiders said the organization spread itself too thin across an array of woke causes. God, I love seeing this, man. And this is a warning to everybody else. Like, this is what happens to every organization that allows the woke in, that doesn't gatekeep these pieces of shit out. This is why gatekeeping is essential. If you let the cancer in, don't bitch when the cancer eats you alive. And Jones told Politico after he was fired that he felt he was subjected to discrimination in a campaign against him. And before he was ousted, he said he raised concerns about racial discrimination and retaliation I saw in the Sierra Club. Yeah, again, typical woke tactic. They make all of this, mud discrimination shit. They entrench it in the culture. And then anytime anyone talks back to them, oh, it's because I'm black, isn't it? Oh, it's because I'm a woman, isn't it? Oh, it's because you're Islamophobic, isn't it? And they just run behind it as a shield every time. And I don't have any sympathy for these suckers that allowed this to happen. Just like those suckers who voted for Mamdani in New York, I hope you get everything you deserve. I am not going to have a shred of sympathy for you idiots. And before its recent decline, Sierra Club made headlines through its campaign Beyond Coal, which aimed to close all of America's coal-fired power plants. Yeah, they've not been very good for a while. Like, I'll be honest, most of my exposure to them has been through clothing. I mean, at least in the past. I can't speak to the quality now, but they did have some pretty decent outdoor clothing. It was pretty decent. I mean, I think I still probably have some Sierra Club outdoors branded gear laying around my house somewhere. That's pretty much all I really knew them for. Like, I didn't even know or care about their activism, but now I guess they got nothing left, huh? At a time when the organization was well funded with donations, including a $120 million gift from billionaire Mike Bloomberg, the group successfully sued regulators. It was on track to close hundreds of plants by current year. -8. Okay, so now you guys know who to blame if you're having brownouts. The game plan was pretty clear, and it was working. Abigail Dillon, president of the environmental group Earth Justice, told the lies. When Orange Man was first erected in current year -9, organizations soared donations soared and volunteers membership jumped to over 4 million. But it was Orange Man's rise that may have caused the Sierra Club's downfall, as its leaders decided their sole focus on environmentals was too narrow for the gravity of the moment. Yes, guys, take notes here. This is the important thing. Because like we always say, get woke, go broke. So since that's been proven true so many times, why do all of these companies keep getting woke? Because oftentimes when the woke first infest an organization, they actually do bring in a lot of money. Like a lot of these woke activists, like there's a reason George Soros has become such a meme. There's billionaires with deep pockets funding a lot of these activist organizations. So a lot of times that they will initially show up with a bunch of money and trick you into thinking that they are serious, like they're actually customers. But as soon as you open the gates and let them in, like that money is basically the Trojan horse. Like all of these greedy corporations, they see the money and they're like, let them in. Like, but that money has strings attached to it. I don't care, man. We got to look good this quarter. We got to increase shareholder value. Open the gates and let them in. And they get a massive boost for 1 or 2 financial quarters. And then they die. Like we're kind of seeing here. In current year -8, the group's then executive director, Michael Brune, told members we can't defend the environment by shutting ourselves up in a big green box labeled environmental issues. The shift to the left saw the organization rapidly expand the number of staff in an employee union, which in turn raised salaries by over 30% in 5 years. Another example of a current year union bleeding a host dry. And now none of them are going to have jobs. These increased costs saw labor expenses double from current year -9 to current year -1. However, donations dried up as many members were turned off by the sudden need to support a wide net of social causes separate from the environment. Among the woke standards introduced were an equity language guide, which lectured members about how everyday words such as vibrant and hardworking were racist. Sure. Supporters are told not to refer to Americans because they excluded immigrants, and the term lame duck was also reportedly banned because lame could be considered offensive. Well, what if I consider this level of bullshit to be offensive? Are you going to stop doing it? No, you're going to tell me I'm not welcome in your inclusive space. While Malone said she still volunteers for the Sierra Club, she knows many like her that decided to quit because they didn't see the point if it was not focused on environmentalism. Yeah, if they lost 60% of their members, you think they'll take the hint? Probably not. Sierra Club supported defunding the police and reparations for slavery amid the burn, loot, murder riots, and many members questioned what happened to the long-beloved environmental group. You got to find an alternative. I mean, they already exist, I guess. Jim Doherty, environmental activist and Sierra Club director, told the Lies that he raised objections in current year -6 when he realized the group would put more funding into DEI than the environment. I said, we have 2 full-time employees devoted to Orangeman's war on the Arctic refuge. We have 108 going to DEI. I don't think we have our priorities straight. Doherty said he was the lone board member to back his objections, and a budget focused on DEI policies was passed. The organizers said the issues within the club were compounded when Orange Man lost the current year -5 erection, and it was no longer as it no longer had a prominent enemy to rally around. Memberships and donations declined further, and in current year -3, union members asked the Sierra Club to cease all trips and operations in Israel because of the Middle East crisis. Within 1 month in current year -3, it lost over 130,000 members. Yeah, the whole anti-Israel angle is the funniest thing to me, because where did a lot of these activist organizations' money come from? These fucking idiots are literally the textbook example of biting the hand that feeds them. Did they think all of that Israeli money was going to keep coming into them as they take an increasingly anti-Israel stance? I guess they must have, given how shocked they are. Jealous fired dozens of staff through 3 rounds of layoffs, but actions by leadership struggled to stop members leaving and expenses piling up. He told the Lies he felt his efforts were undercut by the union, and that's probably true. And the campaign attacks that the union carried out against the organization before I was hired and doubled down on after I became executive director were weakening efforts to raise money and to do the work. And now, even with Orange Man's return to the White House, the organization said has not seen the same surge in support that it did when he first assumed power. You might be seeing it. It's just being counteracted by the surge of people leaving. Now, we didn't have a direct Orange Man bump in the same way we did for the first administration. Despite its current state, Blackford said she stands behind the club's hard shift to the left. As long as climate change and environmental protection are viewed as just being concerns for a limited group of elites, we lose. We only win by building a powerful, diverse movement. So losing is your victory condition. Have fun with that.